There are a number of property frameworks put in place. One of the main objectives of these frameworks is to issue regulations that are aimed at shielding different classes of property from all sorts of liabilities. The tax authorities are entrusted with the role of formulating a solid estate management program. The Asset Protection Trust is a part of the estate management framework, whose main function is issuing regulation for liability shielding. The protection framework identifies a number of issues which ought to be taken into consideration. The property owners ought to be clearly identified. Their names, gender and address of residence is clearly stated in the contract documents. The prioritization levels are also defined within the same documents. The hereditary trees and patterns are also explained in special clauses. The hereditary patterns and the indexation levels are used for identification of beneficiaries. The legal framework exists in order to guide the process of identifying the likely liability against which the classes of material assets ought to be shielded against. The business law separates the owners from their businesses. This means that the owners cannot be personally liable. The property registration acts as a way of separating the two parties. It also acts as a way of shielding the businesses from adverse takeovers. The business and personal property are registered in a number of asset classes. Each of these classes has a number of claims against which the registration aims at shielding. The claim assertions explain the nature and type of liabilities likely to occur. These assertions also recognize the potential risks which may expose the classes of materials to ownership takeover. Material and property management are governed by a number of frameworks. A certain claim may be laid against a certain group of assets. Therefore, a group of laws are established in order to shield this group of assets. There are personal possessions such individual items, bank accounts and pension benefits accounts. These are exempted from adverse takeover bids. The exemption ensures that personal materials cannot be taken over by other parties. The property law requires the owners to complete a special subscription process during the process of registration. This process works at identifying the legitimate owners of such pieces of materials and the rights that they should enjoy. In the event of transfer, the subscription process identifies the beneficiaries. A court process may also be initiated in order to identify the group of beneficiaries. Estate management is done by a group of trained lawyers and estate planning. These ought to undergo a specialized form of training. The training equips the trainees with the practical skills applicable in the field. The process also passes on very important information. Further assessments are very important before a professional license is issued. The professional license enables the group of professionals to operate privately. An asset protection trust program classifies the assets in such a way that some may end up being exempted from paying taxes. The class of personal properties is exempted from business takeovers and also payment of taxes. Other classes are organized in such a way that the tax burden is reduced.